All right, so our next segment here, Mario, is bookings. How do you make your bookings, your living life full-time at sea? This is quite the chore and a complicated task of how do you accommodate this lifestyle with bookings, which is going to lead us into our very first question from a content creator.
Okay.
Hi Mario, Sherry here from Sherry's Awesome Sunsets Travel Channel. And Alana was telling me that you have a travel agent that helps you book your cruises. So my question is how do you decide which cruises you're going to do next, and how far in advance do you book those? Thanks for taking my question.
Thank you, Sherry.
Okay, so very good question. You know, I am planning my cruises, my cruise schedule, let's call it, pretty much on a 2-year basis.
Okay.
So I'm booking always 2 years ahead of the cruise. And then I decide what my schedule is going to look like. I call it my strategic cruising schedule, because you have to make choices. Where are you going to cruise? What ship? You go back to the planning part. And you're always going to revisit that every year. Because every year you're going to book the next year of the 2 years, right? So every year you're going to be faced with decisions, which cruises and which ships and which areas. So you decide that. Nobody else decides that. Okay, so you've decided on your cruising plan for the next, for year 2 of the cycle, because you already have year 1 booked from prior year. So now I'm deciding for year 2, and the bookings open up. The itineraries are what they call released by Royal. Okay, so now it's time to book. Okay, so the tool that I use, first of all, is a spreadsheet. I have every single one of my bookings on a spreadsheet, and it gives you the date, the ship, the itinerary, and the status of that booking, whether it's yet to be booked or is it booked. If it's booked, cabin number, total cost, booking number, onboard credit, blah, blah, blah. So it's a big Excel spreadsheet. So you need to be organized, and you need to keep all your bookings on a spreadsheet, okay? Very important. So now I have my spreadsheet. I have my cruises that I want to book. What do? I don't go to a travel agent.
No?
No. That goes to her question. I don't use a travel agent.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, let me explain where the travel agent comes in.
Okay.
Because there is a travel agent, but not for booking.
Oh.
So I take my spreadsheet, I take my computer, I make an appointment with the next cruise sales office on board. Every ship has a sales office. Okay, this is the best place to book. Why? You're going to get the best offer. Okay, by offer means price, onboard credit, blah, blah, blah. You're going to sit down face to face with a Royal Caribbean sales agent, which knows all the ships, all the itineraries.
Right.
And you're going to be able to handpick your cabin.
Ooh.
Right there, you're face to face.
Yeah.
You get answers to any questions you may have. You may have questions on itineraries. You may have questions on ships. She can answer everything. But let's say you've done your homework and you know exactly what you want. So all you got to do is tell her, okay, here's what I want to book. And she'll go on her screen and book every one of your bookings. And normally I do, a year, 60 bookings a year. So she's going to sit down for the next 2 hours and book me 60 cruises.
Wow.
In one sitting, one fell swoop.
And you're just telling her what you want, because you already know.
It's in my spreadsheet.
So you just say, this on this date.
Exactly, it's in my spreadsheet. And then she goes one by one, and she says, okay, this one costs you $1,622. So I put that on my spreadsheet. I've already got the cabin selected, by the way.
Oh.
Which, by the way, this is why you want to book as early as possible. Because if you're going to do 50 back-to-backs like I'm doing now, guess what? You don't want to have to change cabins. Trust me, you don't want to change cabins.
Yeah.
It is chaos to change cabins every 3 and 4 days. Chaotic. So
I can't imagine. With a 3-day cruise, that's just not possible.
It's just chaotic to be changing cabins and cabin stewards and decks and everything. It's just chaotic.
Yeah.
So when you book early, like the way I do it, first day that they're released, I'm booking already. I get the same cabin. I'm assured of getting the same cabin.
Yeah.
If I wait maybe a few weeks to book, guess what? Maybe that cabin won't be available for cruise number 5 or cruise number 10 or number 15. And then I have a break. And then I'm going to have to change cabins.
Yeah.
Another advantage of booking early and with a cruise sales office is you get the early booking price. which normally, I'm not going to say 100%, but let's say 70 to 80% of the time, the early booking price is usually the best price for that sailing up until sail date.
Right.
In the 2-year life of that booking, that's going to be the best price 70% of the time. And I've tested that assumption. I've got the data to prove it also.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to get the early booking rate, which is normally the best rate. You're going to get the cabin you want, and you're going to get continuity of cabin. Okay? And you will have already taken care of your entire year of bookings in one sitting. And then you're going to get the confirmations. They're going to print the confirmations for you. And now the travel agent comes in.
Okay.
Once I have everything booked, okay, I tell the cruise sales manager, please pass it on to my travel agent. My travel agent is such and such. They usually have a number, travel agent number, name, everything, and then she puts that on the booking record. My travel agent gets an immediate confirmation. Now, I warned my travel agent, I thought, you're gonna get 60 bookings today, okay? So don't get scared.
Yeah.
Okay, so she knows that she's gonna get 60 bookings from Royal that I booked. So these basically come to her from the sky.
Yeah.
They just rain. She doesn't have to do any work.
Yeah.
No work is done here.
Wow.
So now she keys them into her system. She now generates an invoice for each booking, has a final payment date, because I've already put the deposit down. So now we're talking about final payment dates, which are a year to come, a year ahead yet, or 2 years ahead. And then she will schedule the final payments. When they come due, she has my credit card, and she will then, I don't have to worry about paying it.
Right.
So she will make the final payment on each booking. And so that's one of her roles. I call it a support role. Not a booking role, but a support role.
Okay.
Of making final payment. My travel agent is responsible also for checking every 2 weeks the prices on those bookings to make sure that the prices have not gone down.
Yeah.
And if they have gone down, and sometimes that happens,
They run specials and deals.
Yeah. She can reprice that booking downward before the final payment date. Now that happens, like I said before, maybe 20% of the time, maybe less. Every year it's less and less that the prices go down, really.
Yeah.
They normally go up, they move up, okay? So, but if it's any downward pricing situation, she will reprice it and generate a new invoice. So travel agent role is a support role, making final payment, repricing any bookings that have gone down in price, and number 3, resolving any issues or problems with bookings. For example, this month they canceled one of my cruises.
That was one of my questions from a viewer. They wanted to know whether or not you've ever had a cruise canceled.
Many
before.
times.
Yeah.
This year I've had 6 cruises canceled.
Wow.
Okay? And you say, well, why would they cancel a cruise? Charters. They charter the ship to a company or to an organization, and then all the people that booked that week, that ship, they get forced canceled,
I see.
whether you like it or not. Now, they compensate you.
Right.
They compensate you for that. They let you rebook on another week or another ship. They protect your price, and they give you some extra money for the inconvenience.
There you go.
So if I get canceled, okay, my travel agent takes care of that, of the rebooking process.
So there are some perks, even though you do book on board. Having that travel agent is kind of like your safety net in a sense.
Exactly, my safety net, my troubleshooter.
Yeah.
My troubleshooter, if they cancel me, she will notify me.
Right.
By the way, she gets notice of that cancellation before I do.
Oh.
Royal sends it to the travel agent because the travel agent owns the booking.
Right.
Right? Your agent owns the booking, right? So they go to the agent and say, okay, for your customer, Mario, this booking has been canceled. Please notify him. These are the options he has.
There you go.
And then she sends me an email with the options, and then I tell her, okay, rebook me on, on Independence the following week, or don't rebook me or whatever, and get the compensation, get the extra compensation, and she will do that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So rebookings because of cancellations, and I remember 2 years ago, they canceled. It was 12 cruises in a row, 12 back-to-backs.
Wow.
Because the ship that I was going to go on was not ready.
Oh,
That was the Empress.
Oh.
When the Empress came back to the fleet, they had problems with the remodeling or refurbishment. They had problems. So they had to be in dry dock for 2 extra months.
I see.
But they had already released the sailings. So I had booked 2 months, and they told me, sorry, they're all canceled. So I went nuts. I called my travel agent. I said, what are we going to do? He said, well, let me rebook on you on this other ship.
There you go.
And I said, please get me the same cabin, for the 2
Yeah.
months, So there's where the travel agent comes in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what about, now this is one of the times where you're on one ship for quite a while, so many back-to-back, so many consecutives. Now, this is kind of the anomaly. It normally isn't this long on one ship. What is your average of how long you stay on one ship?
My normal.
Yeah, the normal scenario.
Normal scenario is I divide the year into 2 parts. What I
Okay.
call the summer season and what I call the winter season. The summer season, I'm 6 months on one ship. So right now, we're a navigator. I'm starting my summer season now.
Yeah.
First week of May. So my summer season begins May and ends in November. And I'm a navigator those 6 months. In November, we switch to the winter season.
Okay.
So then I have a winter ship from November through April. But then in between the 2 seasons, I hook them up with crossings. I do 2 transatlantic crossings, one in October and one in April, because I love crossings. I just love them. So I normally do 2 crossings a year. And the other exception where I won't be 6 months is if they offer Panama Canal. I am a fool for Panama Canal crossings. And I will do every one of them that they offer. And last year I did 4 Panama Canal. So that basically screwed up my whole schedule.
But in a good way.
In a good way,
Yeah.
I was flexible. So but normally it's 6 months, one ship, summer ship, 6 months winter ship, flanked by 2 crossings to Europe. Yeah. 2 or from Europe, depending on which one you're going. Yeah.
Perfect.
It's very important to have a travel agent. Okay, not for booking necessarily. There's nothing wrong with booking with a travel agent. It's just that I much prefer to book on board the ships and then pass it to the travel agent. But you want a travel agent because somewhere in your cruising life, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah.
Sooner or later. And it's always nice to have a safety net and a support person to help you resolve that problem. You don't want to book directly with Royal and not have a travel agent supporting you. So please make sure you always have a travel agent backing you up. And you can just use her to make final payments if you want, or you can make your final payments yourself, whatever you want. But have a travel agent as a safety net. Yeah. And again, if you are going to live full time on a cruise ship, you don't want to be ship hopping.
Yeah.
You don't want to go from ship A to ship B to ship C to ship D every week or every other week. You don't want to do that.
It sounds exhausting.
You're going to live like a gypsy. It's like gypsy, okay? You want to be stable. You want to have stability.
Yeah.
And I found that 6 months on one ship is ideal because I get to know the crew.
They get to know
They
you.
get to know me. They treat me like royalty, okay? Even though I don't ask for anything, they come to you to really give you the best treatment they can give you, knowing that you are their guest for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it does work out to be, in my case, I say 6 months on a ship. Yeah.
So you mentioned how organized you have to be and your spreadsheets. So you do have a system of staying organized, and a viewer wanted to know what that kind of automation to best maximize the time that you're on one ship. So is it
Correct.
just in your Excel that you do that?
Correct. So I have an Excel spreadsheet, which is called I call it my strategic cruising plan.
Ah.
And it's got all my bookings in there.
Yeah.
Everything you want to know about a booking number, date of sailing, ship, itinerary, even cruise points, because you want to know where your milestones are going to be,
Right.
where you're going to celebrate milestones.
You're a smart and savvy consumer. With this being your lifestyle, you have the knowledge all right there, and that's how it really needs to
Exactly.
be. You have to be aware of where the money's going and how
Yes.
you're making your bookings. So the fact that you're on top of it and it's at the tip of your fingers to pull it up and take a look at that spreadsheet is it's
and you
Top-notch.
eliminate all the paper.
Yeah.
Once you get the confirmation, the printed confirmation, you input it and you file it away.
There you go.
That's it. You never see it again. And now you're managing your life in that spreadsheet, basically. And for example, in parts of that spreadsheet, I have like footnotes. Like for example, Alana and Rafael are coming on May 3rd. Okay, I have that little footnote there.
Yeah.
Alana's going to confirm whether she can make the cruise. It's like a to-do list.
Yeah.
Pendings that you know, so you organize yourself with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I also have special people that are coming on board, like that clown over there.
Uh-oh.
His name is Nick. I put people that I know are coming,
Yeah.
so that I'm aware they're going to be on the ship with me and all
Yeah.
that, and we can do things together. For example, next week I'm celebrating a big milestone.
And what is that? Tell us.
8,000 cruise points. Yeah.
Wow.
It may not sound logical to you, but it's 8,000 is a big milestone. Every 1,000 points is a big milestone.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm bringing in 12 Pinnacle members that are going to join me to celebrate the 8,000. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I have that on my spreadsheet. I have all these people are coming to see me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like your family coming to see you, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that covers our booking section of this segment. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that gave you a good idea into the booking. Our next segment, because Mario is so fascinating, we're going to take a little bit into the day in the life of what it looks like, even farther and deep into the weeds here of what your days look like from a day-to-day basis. So I hope you'll join us in the next section. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more, and ciao for now.